YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Rob with Spray or Splash Fragrance Reviews. I want to talk about the Blue line from the house of Narciso Rodriguez. Stay tuned. Alright, so I finally received the final bottle for this Bleu Noir line from Narciso Rodriguez, and I wanted to put a video out because I think there are going to be quite a few people out there that may be on the fence about trying to pick up a fragrance from this line, and I just wanted to give you my 2 cents on what I think so far about these fragrances. There are 3 fragrances to be exact. The first one, Bleu Noir, which was released in 2015. This is an EDT, okay? Then there was the second one, which is an EDP, and that one came out in 2018. This has got a nice gradient bottle design. And this is an EDP again. And then I've got the third, which came out last year, 2020. It's an EDT, but it's the Bleu Noir Extreme. Okay, so what's the difference between the 3 fragrances, all right? The first release, the 2015 release, has got notes of cardamom, nutmeg, musk, vetiver, cedar, ebony wood, and amber. This one by far to me has the best opening, all right? Killer opening. You really get the cardamom. It's got this smooth, creamy vibe to it, but it's different because it's kind of got this mixture of slightly green but a blue type opening with that cardamom right there. So it's got really a killer opening. Plus it's got that little hint of nutmeg, which gives it a light touch of sweetness, just a hint of sweetness. Killer opening. The only thing is, once you get past the opening, it's just okay, which kind of kills it for me, because if the mid and dry down were as good as the opening, this would be the best designer blue fragrance on the market, hands down. But it kind of falls flat in that department, so I can't give it the, like a recommendation of it to be a great fragrance. It's a good fragrance, but it's not a great fragrance, okay? Then you've got the EDP. The EDP to me has got the best or most realistic citrus in it as far as the opening. It's kind of got this zingy tart type opening. And when you talk about the notes for that fragrance, you've got musk, vetiver, cedar, amber, ebony wood. Doesn't really mention the citrus, but like with some fragrances, they don't really give you all the notes. Really with a lot of fragrances, they don't give you all the notes, but you kind of know there are other notes that are going on behind the scenes, and the citruses are evident in the opening. So it's got the best citrus in its opening, and it's got more depth in this overall, like a little more creamy fragrance. So overall, I think it's the best of the 3, but it's not great. It's a really good fragrance. I don't think it's great. Now, I really haven't had the opportunity to give it extended uses in really warm weather, so take that with a grain of salt. But I think it's the best of the 3. Then last, you've got the Extreme. And again, that's this bottle. And this one has got notes of citruses, ice, basil, green mandarin, and musk. Then citruses, cedar, and ebony wood. It's kind of got a sharp opening, but in regard to the citruses, as citruses are mentioned in this one in the note listing, they're not as realistic as in the EDP. However, that note of ice in this particular fragrance is really nice. Now, I think some might smell this and think it kind of comes off like it's a shower gel, but I would disagree. It's a lot more to it than that. But that ice note kind of gives it this really cool, like cooling effect from the beginning to the ending of the fragrance, and I really think it's appealing. Of the 3, I think this one might have the most mass appeal. So, it's kind of hard. Like again, the Extreme and the EDP, to me, they're better overall fragrances in comparison to the original release. But the original has got the killer opening and just a okay dry down. So that's my 2 cents. That's what I think about these three fragrances. Performance wise, they're like moderate. They've got like 4 to 5 hour, longevity. Projection, they're not big projectors. They're kind of subtle fragrances. When you first spray them, boom, you think, wow, this is pretty big, but within the first 5 minutes, it starts to come in close to you and it gets to where it's like a subtle fragrance. You will get wafts of it, but it's not a big beastly projecting type fragrance. All right, so they're moderately priced. You can find them like the original. You can find between 40 to 50 bucks, gray market and on eBay. The EDP, it's a little bit more expensive. It's like 50 to 60 bucks is where you're going to see it priced. And the EDT, which is the latest release, the prices on that one are kind of all over the place. So I don't really want to give you a range, but you can find that one at regular retailers, gray market retailers, and on eBay. All right, so that's my 2 cents on this line. I think after this summer, I'll be able to speak better about the EDP and the EDT. Maybe if I get a chance to really test them in really hot temperatures. But as for right now, that's what I think. They're all good fragrances. I don't think of them as being great, especially not the original. The original, I had a chance to really test that through a summer. I don't think it's a great fragrance. I think it's a good fragrance. My position on the my position on the EDP and the Extreme may change in time. But as for right now, I think they're a little better than average. But in the midst of all of the inexpensive, kind of cheap blue fragrances that come out every year under like designer houses, these are not those. These are not cheap blue fragrances. I think they're better than that. But I can't say they're great blue fragrances. So that's my 2 cents. I hope you got something out of it. If you're on the fence about maybe picking up one of these fragrances, maybe I helped in some way, shape, or form. Nonetheless, thank you for checking out the channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you've never subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. And then leaving, I wish you guys peace and blessings. Until next time, later.